Everything happens for a reason, a story that will change the way you see life. What if the worst day of your life is actually leading you to the best? Sometimes, life hides its blessings in the most unlikely disguises. This is the story of a man who never judged life too quickly, and because of that, found peace where others only saw chaos. In a small, tranquil village nestled at the edge of the forest, there lived a quiet old man. He owned no land, no gold, no precious jewels, nothing that the world would call valuable. But he had something more unique than all of that. He had a horse, not just any horse, but a magnificent white stallion whose coat shimmered in the sunlight and whose movements were as graceful as the wind sweeping over the hills. Everyone in the village admired the horse. It was the kind of animal poets write about and travelers stop to stare at. Wealthy merchants, landowners, even noblemen came to the old man's door offering bags of gold, land, and riches in exchange for the stallion. But every time, the old man refused. "This horse is not for sale," he would say. "He is not just a horse. He is my friend, my family." The villagers mocked him behind his back. "You could live in comfort," they whispered. "Why would anyone choose poverty over wealth?" But the old man only smiled. "Money can buy many things," he said softly, "but not peace, and peace is all I need." Then one morning, everything changed. The stable was empty. The horse was gone. The villagers rushed to the old man's hut. "Such bad luck!" they cried. "You should have sold the horse while you had the chance. Now you've lost everything." But the old man was calm, almost serene. "Maybe it's bad," he said. "Maybe it's not. Who can say?" The villagers shook their heads. To them, it was obvious. This was a tragedy. But the old man didn't argue. He simply went about his day. 3 days later, the villagers got another surprise. The white horse returned, but not alone. It had brought with it 3 wild horses, untamed, strong, and beautiful. Somehow, they had followed the stallion down from the mountains. Now the same villagers came running again. "You are so lucky," they said. "You lost 1 and now have 4. What a blessing." But the old man only replied as before, "Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Let's wait and see." Confused, the villagers whispered, "He's mad. Doesn't know the difference between gain and loss." The old man didn't explain himself. In the days that followed, his only son, young, strong, and full of energy, began training the wild horses. He wanted to help his father put them to good use. But one day, as he was riding the most powerful of the new horses, it threw him violently to the ground. His leg was broken. The injury was serious. The boy would never walk properly again. This time, the villagers didn't hesitate. "This is terrible," they exclaimed. "First, the horse runs away. Then it returns with others. Now your son is crippled. Such awful luck." But the old man, once again, spoke with calm eyes and steady words. "Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's not. Who knows what life is doing behind the scenes?" The villagers couldn't understand how he remained so still while everything around him kept shifting. But life wasn't finished yet. Weeks later, the kingdom was swept into war. The king's army arrived at the village and took every healthy young man to fight. Sons were torn from mothers, husbands from wives, brothers from brothers. The village echoed with cries of grief and fear. Only one young man was left behind, the old man's son. His broken leg had saved his life. Now the same villagers came once more, but this time they said nothing at first. Their eyes were heavy with a different kind of truth. "You were right," one finally said. "Your son's injury, it saved him. Our sons are at war, and we don't know if they'll return. But yours is here, safe." The old man simply nodded. "Life," he said, "Deden, is always balancing itself. Between joy and pain, between gain and loss. But everything that happens for a reason. We just don't see it when we're standing too close." Moral of the story. In life, not everything will go the way you want. You will lose things. People will leave. Doors will close. Pain will come. And in those moments, it will be easy to cry, "Why is this happening to me?" But maybe the better question is, what is life preparing me for? The old man never reacted in haste. He didn't label moments as good or bad too quickly. He trusted that time would reveal the truth. And it did. Because sometimes what feels like a curse is actually a gift. Sometimes what breaks you today saves you tomorrow. And sometimes the very thing you wanted to avoid becomes your greatest blessing. So the next time life surprises you, don't rush to judge. Stay calm. Stay patient. Stay open. Because everything really does happen for a reason. If this story gave you something to think about, let it stay with you. And if you'd like more stories that help you see life through a wiser lens, subscribe to Whispers Within, where every story is a soft light in the dark.